Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. 49ers offense coming out here led by the 28-year-old quarterback Jimmy Garoppolo, who turned 28 last month, and this is his first year as an every-week starter. You remember last season, all the hope, all the expectation, lost in week 3 to injury. But this year, I think he and the rest of his threw an opening, and there he goes. Touchdown, 49ers. Tevin Coleman. 64 yards as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. On this stage, conference championship game, every play is magnified, and that was a big play.
No doubt about it. One thing that has these guys a step away from a shot at the big game, their big play ability. They can strike from anywhere.
And now this is right in Kyle Shanahan's wheelhouse. He'll go for 2 here. Garoppolo looks to throw, and he will get in to make it 8-0. Well, I guess the opening drive touchdown wasn't enough. They wanted 2 instead of 1 on top of that.
Well, this team is obviously going for the crusher. All right, they don't want to mess around with just kicking the standard extra point and kind of letting you off the hook for giving up a touchdown. Now they want to really rub your face in it and say, guess what? We're going to be doing this all game long.
And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. Aaron Rodgers getting set to lead the Green Bay Packers offensively. Is it fair to say, Charles, that Rodgers has quietly had another sensational season? I mean, you compare him with some of the other quarterbacks in the league, he just does not throw interceptions.
I think what people miss, and this is just my own opinion, not only does he not throw interceptions, he doesn't turn the ball over in the pocket with a lot of fumbles, but people often equate with guys who don't throw a lot of interceptions with simply dinkers and dunkers throwing the football. Aaron Rodgers is anything but that. And then when he gets outside the pocket, he's
under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Getting the sack, the 227-pound linebacker, Quan Alexander.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Here's Rodgers to throw. Man open, that's Marquez Valdez-Scantling. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short.
In so many ways, throwing the hitch route is actually one of the safer things an offense can do. Get the ball out to the receiver as fast as possible, hope he's got man-to-man coverage, and hope that his athleticism wins on the perimeter.
The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. And they hit the home run last drive. One play on the ground all the way to the house. Now the defense, maybe they're expecting a run here.
Partner, I love your description because when we talk about hitting the home run, we're usually thinking about a passing play, aren't we? Something in the air, deep ball. But how about them just taking it big-time jaunt? Now if you're coming back out, now they've established this run game, the play-action pass could very well be open.
And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 15 for the Niners there and a first down. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. And that's complete to Sanders. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down. From just shy of midfield, Garoppolo, and that'll be incomplete. Emmanuel Sanders, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd and 5. And a peek at the defense for the Packers.
Muhammad Wilkerson is one of the most versatile defensive linemen in the league. You can play him at any spot and expect big-time production.
There's Garoppolo to throw. And Sanders has got it complete. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. The Niners have the first down on a gain of 11. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Now Garoppolo, and that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in. And, Charles, despite this list of key inactives that we see here, they've obviously still been pretty successful.
Give everyone credit for this one because, to me, when that happens, key guys are out, the next man steps up and plays well, but that starts with the organization itself, all the way through. No excuses for guys being out, finding guys who are capable backups who can step up and play when they need them, and we've seen the results of that. This team knows how to work through things.
Touchdown, 49ers! Tevin Coleman with his second touchdown in this opening quarter. And the Niners are able to stretch their lead. And a pair of rushing touchdowns now for him in the first quarter.
And I'm liking what I'm seeing from his big guys up front because they're winning the leverage game. How many times we talk about low man wins, right? Move the defensive front aside, create those gaps and holes. He's found his way through them for 2 touchdowns.
And after both of those touchdowns, he went right up to that O-line and hit each of them on the helmet. He recognized it.
That's a smart man. You know what else he should do? If this continues, take them all to dinner.
And they're going to get it. That one's caught. And now the lead moves to 16-0. So 2 successful two-point tries now for them.
And you know what it does? It gives you a boost, a huge one for your team because, hey, you're dominating them now. They can't stop you either scoring touchdowns or two-point conversions. But how about the defense? You don't know what to do at this stage. You can't stop them in any direction.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. Shotgun now for Rodgers. And Rodgers is going to go down. He's sacked.
Well, someone's been up to the task so far in this game. They are already up a couple of scores, Brandon, and guess what? I think they're just going to pin their ears back now and get upfield and get after the quarterback.
Been such an impressive first half to get that lead. Rodgers now, after the sack, he'll lead the pack up on 3rd and long. To throw, it's Rodgers. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Yeah, first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on 3rd down conversions to start this thing.
Let's go, baby. Let's go. Here we go.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
A good pickup there, 26 yards. They'll run with Coleman on 1st down. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
Now a man open down the middle of the field. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. 16-0. That's the score after 1 on EA Sports.
Here we go.
On 1st down, Coleman sheds another. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco. Tevin Coleman saving his best for the playoffs with his 3rd touchdown of the game. And the Niners are able to stretch their lead. This is becoming quite the half he's had here.
Remember in our pregame meetings, they talked about wanting to run the football and staying with it? Well, when you're scoring this many touchdowns, there's no reason to go away from it, is there? They are off to a fantastic start. They hope it continues.
3 already for him. And he's got it. So the try for 2 successful. And that bumps their lead up even further. And, of course, on the 2-point try, had the option to run or pass. They pass it there, and it works.
Felt pretty straightforward, didn't it? An open receiver, ball's put on him, 2 points for them.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And here now the offense heading back out there. Rodgers will break the huddle and bring the pack up 1st and 10 at their 20. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Quan Alexander, his 2nd sack of the night.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been under constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. This will be a gain of about 8 to the 27-yard line. An 8-yard gain, so that gets them halfway there. Now they're left with a 3rd and 8 more. Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down. Gets this to his running back, Aaron Jones. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. For an offense that has not found the end zone yet, that's a big play.
There's the spark right there. The big play that they needed. Now they've got to go ahead and finish this drive and put this ball in the end zone.
They run on 1st down as they get about 3. 2nd and 7 forthcoming. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, to me, that's taking a big gamble defensively because that alignment you see, that's normally something you see down near the goal line. Because now, if they decide to go play action, something should be open there, and I think open big.
So maybe that's something that gets filed away for later.
I think without a doubt, you write it down, and if you see that look at a later date, go ahead and take your shot.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. And Adams has it complete. Touchdown, Packers. Davante Adams, 35 yards as they are now on the board here in the 1st half. Down 3 scores already. This game was really in danger of getting away from them. They needed a drive like that, especially on the road.
Not only to calm themselves, but maybe tamp down the crowd a little bit because everything was against them. As you noted, this game could have gotten away from them very easily, but instead, the calming drive, now they have a little bit more confidence. Okay, we're back in it. All right, we're ready to go. That was impressive.
And the defense now needs to reciprocate. This will be fielded at the 6. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Tevin Coleman and the rest of the offense making their way back out. He's already cruised past the 100-yard mark. We haven't even gone away for halftime yet.
He might not want halftime. Why cool off?
Keep everybody here.
Let's stay out on the field and keep going. But all that being said, everything is really working well for them. The play calling's been excellent. The blocking's been terrific. And obviously his vision and legs have hurdled him to this big number so far. We could be seeing something really special here.
And we'll see how much they give him the ball here. Now this one to his tight end out on the right side. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. Last play went for over 30 yards. This one not quite as big, but still over 20. They go play action here on 1st down. And it's complete. In the end zone, touchdown 49ers. Emmanuel Sanders there to make the grab. And the Niners are able to stretch their lead. And he's a little bit on the shorter side as a receiver. Maybe sometimes for the defense, tough to find the little guys, right?
Yeah, sometimes they get lost in the traffic, but usually what it means is that rather than just winning with height or even speed, they use their quickness to find a way to get open.
Well, tall, short, wide, skinny, whatever, there it results in a touchdown. Gold with the extra point, and a rout is on here in this 1st half. The drive there only spanning 3 plays, and it's polished off by a touchdown for San Francisco. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here's Aaron Jones in the offense trotting back out. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the second quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call in the West Coast offense, the long handoff? Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people, after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore, or they get tired, or they get out of position, or he runs through tackles. Continue to feed him the ball. He's having that kind of game.
Yeah, might they get him the ball in some space in some different ways here. 2 minutes remain in the first half of this NFC Championship. Rodgers going to try and throw on third down. And he lost the football. And now this is scooped up by the 49ers. And he's able to get it back to the 33-yard line. Well, he did what he's known for. He made the catch, then he turned into a runner, took the contact, and coughed it up.
And all I remember as a player, when they catch the ball, when those acrobatic guys catch it, you have to make them pay sometimes. You have to put it on them, big tackle, knock the ball free. Anything you can do to slow them down.
So they'll come up first and 10 now from the 33.
White.
It's caught by Sanders. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. They'll get a dozen there, and it's a first down, 49ers. They'll run on first down. It's Coleman, and this will be a gain of 6 when it's all said and done, down to the 15 from the 21.
21.
On second down and 4, Garoppolo. That is caught by the tight end, Kittle. Touchdown, 49ers. George Kittle there to make the grab as his guys continue to put this one out of reach.
Well, the lost sleep that the defensive coordinator had all week preparing for this game, a good portion of it was trying to prepare for him because he's absolutely a phenomenal player.
And a lot of times around the goal line, they know it's going to him. It's just so hard to stop.
And that's where it really becomes difficult because you're exactly right. They know it's going to him, yet they still can't stop it. That tells you when you're a dominant player.
A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Protection was great. He had time to set up a campsite. But in the secondary, though, they were ready.
And I think that in most places on the field, if you have that much time to throw the ball, someone's going to shake free and you'll find an open receiver. But condensed near the goal line on a two-point conversion, all that extra, there's not any extra field. So it kind of closes in on them, and that allows you to cover a little bit better.
On first and 10, here's Rodgers. And he finds his tight end, Graham. And he'll get this from the 25 to the 30 for a pickup of 5. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5.
That's going to be a long day.
Throwing now is Rodgers. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Rodgers now, after the sack, he'll lead the pack up on 3rd and long. Rodgers with a give. It's Aaron Jones. And he's going to be stopped here a few yards short of the first as the tackle is made at the 33. A pretty good effort there, 9 yards, but not enough. We'll likely see the punt team now on 4th down. Here's J.K. Scott now as he's on to punt for Green Bay. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. It's a 45-yard punt, 6 yards on the return. And the Niners will go on offense, 1st and 10. Tevin Coleman and the rest of the offense making their way back out. We're in the second quarter. They've got the lead. The lead, though, not so much because of the ground game, because of their air attack, Charles.
So what they're seeing so far is the possibility of things loosening up later in the ground game. through the air first. Maybe they have to start respecting that even more as the game goes on, and then there will be running lanes to find later.
Yeah, try to get him more involved here on this drive maybe. Now a play fake here on first down. That's caught inside the 20. And now the Niners going to signal for their third and final timeout, as it comes with 22 seconds to go here in half number 1. Inside the red zone, it's Garoppolo. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Well, he'd been targeted quite a bit on this drive, and finally I think the guys on the defensive side, they said no more. They slapped the double coverage on him, made it very tough for him to get the ball.
That is caught by the tight end, Kittle. Touchdown, 49ers. 3 touchdown passes now for Jimmy Garoppolo as his guys continue to pour it on.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that can finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. And now this is right in Kyle Shanahan's wheelhouse. He'll go for 2 here. Garoppolo looks to throw once more. It's complete. And, boy, talk about adding insult to injury. He's into the end zone to tack on 2 more. So they're able to throw it in for the 2-point conversion. And sometimes that can be a risky play, but they got it.
Yeah, you always have to be careful here because if you do get it intercepted, it's returned by the defense. That's 2 points for them, but he identified an open target and put it right on him.
Now on the return here, we've got an injured player down there. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Now Rodgers. Got an open man. It's Valdez-Scantling. And he'll get it out to midfield. Yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. So we've reached halftime. Yeah, who has time for a halftime show with a trip to the Super Bowl on the line? Let's get back to it. The Hallis Trophy still hangs in the balance as the second half now underway in the NFC Championship game. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big depth. Now Jones is hit. He lost the football.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12 from the shotgun to give to Jones. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. The pass complete to Ryan Grant. And he'll be stopped at the 27-yard line, well short of the first down marker. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Here's a look at the 49ers offense as they make their way out for their first possession of the second half. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room, because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, let's take control right away. Defense, we got the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over to the offense and let them go down and score and give us more of a cushion in the game. Check so far. Defense shut them down. Let's see if the offense gets done.
And now here's a deep shot that's complete. A gain of 39 that time.
Just more of the same there, partner. Guys have just been running free in the secondary this entire game. No pass rush, a lot of passes completed. Been an easy day for them.
So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Inside the red zone here. They'll look to throw. That is caught by the tight end, Kittle. Touchdown, 49ers. George Kittle saving his best for the playoffs with his 3rd touchdown of the game as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. Well, something about this team, you just felt like they were one of destiny all season long, and they made themselves today, as you can see, the class of the NFC.
Yeah, and it's starting to look more and more like a Super Bowl trip is very much in their future.
And the fans starting to book those tickets. And now this is right in Kyle Shanahan's wheelhouse. He'll go for 2 here. Throwing now is Garoppolo. And this is going to be caught. Well, not sure about the need to go for 2, but they get it and extend this lead out even further. And is there bad blood here? I mean, go for 2 when you're up that much?
If there wasn't before, there is now. When you do that, you've just announced to everyone, you just don't care about the other side at all. All you care about is what you're doing, and they just want to pile up points.
They did. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. They'll go again to Jones. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. The tally there, -2 yards, brings up 3rd down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Shotgun now for Rodgers. It's complete to Grant. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 14 yards, good for a Packer 1st down.
So how do you beat man coverage? First of all, you want to be a superior receiver, but you know something, that guy who's covering you, he's usually pretty good too. So the corner route is usually a great spot to get it done.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Out of the shotgun, it's Jones. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. Up front, the struggles continue for this offense among the line. What can they do? Change the play calling? What?
I think part of that, yes, changing some of the play calls, some screens, some draws, some misdirection. You want to run any type of a play that will influence these guys to continue to get upfield and find a way to use that against them and slip things in behind them. So some quick passes could work as well.
Another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack.
Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage because they are dominating it. It allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield. So how are you going to combat that? You know, people say bring in your tight end, keep him in. Your running backs, they have to step forward. Bottom line, The offensive line has to block them first to give yourself a chance.
They do get 12, but they'll be marked short. And that leads to a 4th down. Here's J.K. Scott now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. And this will depend on the spot as it sails out of bounds. And they'll say it sailed out at the 10-yard line. 1 quarter remains until the NFC crowns its champion. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. They begin the drive with Coleman. And brought down, but not before they're able to get it up to the 25. 15 for the Niners there and a 1st down. Garoppolo on 1st down. Completes it to the tight end, Kittle. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. Called out a very strong gain of 24. Garoppolo now. This one into the hands of Kittle, the tight end. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco. George Kittle, 51 yards, as his guys continue to pour it on. So another score there. Often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. Gold able to tack on the extra point. And that will extend this big lead. Scoring summary, 3-play drive. And the end result for the 49ers, a touchdown. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is taken at his 4. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him. All right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. Hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
14 yards, good for a Packer 1st down.
Come on now, come on now.
Throwing on 1st down is Rodgers. The connection made. It's Graham. Past the 20. And they do finally get him, but he makes it all the way to the 6. Rodgers to his tight end Graham on a big one. 41 yards. Now a chance to make that big play really hurt. It's 1st and goal just outside the 5. Now Jones. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. A pickup of 4 on 1st down. It'll be 2nd and goal. From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. They'll try and run it in with Jones. And this is not going to do it as he stopped at the 2-yard line. Call it no gain that time, and now it's 3rd and goal. The Packers on 3rd down. They've converted a 1/3 of their opportunities, 3 for 9. They're looking at and that is caught. Well, they're going to see this one to the end. They get a score, but pretty much an exercise in futility right now. Still down big. There was no going through the progressions on that touchdown pass.
Yeah, nor was it necessary. His receiver won that route early, presented himself. No reason to wait. Go ahead and put it on him and score a touchdown.
Crosby connects on the extra point as they make the score just a slight bit more respectable here in the final quarter of play. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The San Francisco offense getting their last-minute instructions before they take over here. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. These guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Garoppolo looking to throw. And Sanders has got it complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. And this is going to result in another first down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 26. Here's Garoppolo on 1st and 10. And that'll wind up incomplete. Try to give his man room to run under it, but it's 2nd down. Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10. And yet again, it's Garoppolo escaping the pressure right. And that's complete to Sanders. And certainly a valuable tool to have in your kit, Emmanuel Sanders, and he showed us quite a bit in this one.
And that's why they wanted to use him immediately. You know they come out of the locker room saying, let's get the ball to him, get our offense jump-started, and in this case, it's worked throughout the game. Thus, they have the lead.
Now here's a pass on 1st down that's knocked away and incomplete. Adrian Amos, the safety, able to make the play. Line of scrimmage, again the 4-yard line. And this will be caught. And the carnage continues. It's another touchdown.
And to me, that touchdown allows you to start grinning widely on your sideline. I think they pretty much locked this one away.
Yeah, that's the clincher, the proverbial icing on the cake, if you will. Again, they'll throw with Garoppolo. And this is going to be caught. So add 2 more to the lead as they continue to pour it on here in the 4th. Oh, boy, rubbing a little salt in the wound there, going for 2 up this big.
You know, there's one time when I played, Brandon, and played against a team that was just absolutely pile driving us. And they ended up going for 2 late in the game. And I asked one of the guys, why'd you do that? He said, because we wanted to win by more. That feels like that type of situation.
Wow. Well, it could also result in a melee later, though. The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. Now, he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. Good work after the catch. Going to net him 23 and a first. Well, Garoppolo's going to throw it. And all this is taken in one-handed. What a catch. The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages.
Here we go.
Looking to throw. Garoppolo. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. And that touchdown reception is the 5th for him in this game, and that ties the NFL record.
And a record that's held up since 1950. This is another person that's tied it, but think about this. Bob Shaw said it in 1950. Kellen Winslow came along and tied it. And then, of course, Jerry Rice tied it as well. And finally, we're seeing it here one more time. Phenomenal.
Gold with the extra point, and the lead will swell by 1 more. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And it's polished off by a touchdown for San Francisco. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is taken at his 4. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling again.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
One final try for Rodgers. We've seen this before. And Graham's got it. Complete. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. And what a ride it has been. NFC champs, they have punched their ticket to the biggest show in sports.
And what a way to get there, to go the entire season and then play for the right to go to the Super Bowl and the right to call themselves NFC champs. Elation has to abound.
And that does it for the conference championship. For Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And for our entire crew, we'll see you 2 weeks at the Super Bowl. This is the NFL on EA Sports.
I'ma tell you I'm a misconceiver. I'm a believer.